Someone once said that you can't go home again, but they lacked vision. And a temporal discombobulator.
Good evening, and here's a hint, Maxie.
45 seconds of gameplay.
If it would be so kind. I'm already logged in, brother. Okay. But we gotta do the welcome screen first, because I cannot start a stream without having at least 20 minutes of welcome screen these days. And hello, Nick C. Welcome, sir. Maxie. Hells yeah. I started playing this on the official launch night. Actually, once I had a character on a server, the login time was a lot faster. The first time I logged into a given server, I had to wait, in both instances, because I tried two different ones, I had to wait about 25 to 30 minutes. And maybe it just also eased off in the second and third nights, but last night and tonight, when I logged into a server that I already had a character on, I got on relatively fast. If I tried going onto a server I didn't have a character on, it would put me in a queue like 2,000 or 3,000 people behind. So I don't know if that's like a thing or if it's just a coincidence, but I seem to have noted a correlation. So and hello, Org Chaos. Yeah, I heard. Well, on launch day, I played a half hour and then I waited a half hour and I was able to go in. Launch day was the 26th, right? It was on Monday. So I don't know. We'll see how things go the first weekend. But I got in and I wasn't sure what to expect in terms of my own reaction to it. But I've been enjoying it. Like, maybe it's still just a novelty and the nostalgia, but the slow pace of everything, and you feel a little more grounded in the world because they're not rushing you through it, and there's not flight paths everywhere, and I don't know. It's just, it feels a lot different, and it feels different in a good way, I guess what I'm saying. I probably played the last two nights for 2 or 3 hours a night. My dude's still only level 8. So, anyways, excuse me. I've been doing my talky talk all day. Food brother Fede Contreras. How you doing, my friend? Welcome. So, you may notice it's Wednesday, and normally I stream on Thursdays. Nick, you still there, buddy? The reason I aimed for today was because Nick had informed me that today was his birthday. So, I made a note. I made a reminder on my phone. I think I did it during the stream last week. And I decided I would aim for a Wednesday stream this week, since it was Nick's birthday. So, Nick, happy birthday, buddy. And I don't know if I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I may have arranged for something to be sent for you. As it happens, after I had arranged for this thing, I was told it could take up to 72 hours for you to get it. So, what the F? But my hope is that that was a worst case scenario, and that it processes quickly, and you will still get it on your birthday if you haven't gotten it already. Well, that's the burden of a midweek birthday. Is even if you wanted to make plans, no one's doing anything on Wednesdays for the most part. But really, not even a regular like game night or anything for you. September 19th. All right, that's coming up, man. That's coming up. You got to remind me. You got to remind me like the week before. That's sort of how it worked this time. So I know Nick gave me the last week. He warned me that we were within a week of his birthday, and the reason he did is because I'm always wishy-washy about when I'm going to stream, but I wanted to make sure to stream on his birthday week. The game was canceled because people were sick. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but that's okay because I'm glad that you're available for this epic World of Warcraft Classic Wednesday stream. And I'm just curious, Nick. Speaking of my thing that I try to get for you, have you checked your email lately? Because they told me that's how you would find out. I'm just curious if you got it. But anyway, has anyone tried World of Warcraft Classic yet? I've surprisingly been into it. I've been hopping around. I was playing Civilization 6. They had the expansions on sale last week, and I got back into Civilization for the first time in a bunch of years. It's long-standing one of my favorite franchises, but I haven't really dipped into 6 yet. And it's been a few years since I got sucked into it a little bit, and I was probably going to continue being sucked into it, except when on Monday I realized WoW Classic had officially launched. I felt like I had to do it. You got to level 7 before you took a break? Okay. Yeah, the pacing's a little slow. And I know I just haven't, when I get home from work, I hang out with my wife a little bit, eat, and that usually gives me maybe a couple hours if I'm not too tired to play a game. So I haven't given it a real plunge, and you know, even tonight there's probably just going to be a couple hours of, and it's going to be G-Law streaming style. Maxie, I just saw that your birthday is Friday and Saturday. Wow, this week, Maxie, that's amazing, man. We'll see what's going on this weekend. You don't have any email unusual spam. Okay. I guess you really didn't get it. You really didn't get it yet. Hey, Majos. Hey, good evening. So this weekend is a 3-day weekend for me. And my wife, because of weirdities of her job, she has a bunch of vacation that she hasn't taken that will get lost if she doesn't take it within the next few weeks. So she realized the beginning of the month, like starting after this weekend, was a good time to use some of those days that she needed to get rid of. So she's taking a long weekend. But I think Friday and Saturday, let's see, what's going on? We're gonna have some family in town on Sunday. So Saturday or Sunday, I'm getting confused now. Anyways, Saturday and possibly Sunday may be dedicated game days, but they may be dedicated game days with my lady. So, Max, yeah, I know it's your birthday on both days, and that's totally a real thing. But if it's not a lady game day and I'm playing games and I'm playing WoW and you happen to be on WoW, I don't know what could happen. You never know. $5 says G-Law doesn't even complete one quest. Well, you gotta see. We gotta see. The quests are pretty demanding. I had to get those boar flanks for that cooking quest, and I must have killed like 30 boars to get 6 flanks. But it reminded me of the good old days. But it gave me that feeling of, all right, settle in. Settle in. This is going to be a leisurely meander of boar killing. This is not something you're going to rush through the quest in 4 minutes and rush back for the next one. Let's see. You have a lot of need to use or lose, but you do have some time. So, yeah, I think she still have about a week or so of vacation after that she's not losing. And I think also just because of her work schedule, she can't use it all. Like, she just has too many demands. So she's going to end up losing about 8 hours. But losing 8 hours is better than losing 40 hours. And I know she can use the little break. So you have to find the quest yourself now. I know. It's like, I'm looking on the map for the exclamation points and the question marks, and like, they're not there. There's all sorts of things that as I played, I started remembering. Like, armor degradation starting at level 1. It's like, what? The first time I went to a vendor, it's like, there was money to pay to repair. I couldn't afford to buy my skills when I turned level 4. I think level 2 I could swing it. But at level 4, I could not afford to buy my skills. I could not afford at level 5 to buy the cooking skill. For some reason, the gathering skills are really cheap, so I grabbed skinning and mining. But if I'd wanted to be a blacksmith or an herbalist or anything like that, or I'm sorry, an alchemist, any of the guys that make anything, that's a silver each, and that's too rich for my blood. 10,000 boars, which is, we'll kill 10,000 boars. Use the add-on. Oh, I never really used too many add-ons, but I was aware of them. I think I used an add-on in vanilla that would keep track of where resource nodes were on the map. That never became a regular part of the game. But once you had found a resource node, like a mining node or an herb, the mod would remember that location, and then it would keep track, so you always knew exactly where those were, which is a little bit cheaty. I'm not doing cam tonight or chaos, and the primary reason I'm not doing cam is because over the course of the past week, there was, I believe, what must have been a major Windows 10 update. And that update left numerous of my audio-video functions somewhat compromised. So, like, for example, certain things about sound settings that I typically use just for, viewing movies and stuff on my speakers, like the Realtek Sound Manager equalizers and sound equalization, things that I sometimes use depending on if I need to be conscientious of neighbors and whatnot, turning bass down or whatever. It's gone. It's not there. It's there, but it doesn't do anything. So that was the first thing I noticed. And then as I started my stream today, I realized that it is no longer detecting my camera. And I think this has happened before, and I know there's a way to make it work, but I'm honestly, I'm a little ambivalent about the camera anyway. So as I was setting up the stream, I decided that I was not going to troubleshoot my camera. I just wanted to get the stream ready to go. And also, it's effing hot or chaos. What the hell kind of Pacific Northwest is this? Where it gets it's over 90 degrees inside my house when I get home from work. What kind of bullshit is that? So what that means is I have my AC and my ceiling fan running. And when the ceiling fan's running, Chauncey stays inside the cage, because otherwise she'll idiot fly her ass into the fan and kill herself. I think she's actually, even when the fan's off, she's a terrible flyer, and she's flown into the fan blades when they're just like by accident, when they're stationary, and I'm pretty sure she's hurt herself once or twice doing it. In fact, I don't know if you were here, I've mentioned a few times, she's gone blind in one eye. And I was somewhat suspicious that might have been the aftermath of one of her just full speed crashes into a fan blade when she got startled and was flying around the room. Anyways, we'll see. But yeah, yesterday was hot. I mean, for Maxie and Nick, you guys are like this is nothing. You eat this kind of hot for breakfast. But here in the Pacific Northwest, well, I talk like I'm an old native, but I have lived here a number of years in total, so I'm not a stranger here. And I'll say that the general conditioning of this area is such that you're conditioned to appreciate cold weather and not hot weather. You kept the house. Okay, it's not a bad idea. Just having it kicked on. When we leave the house, we turn everything off. So, but I know last night was one of the rare nights that after the sun went down, I kept the AC on. I kept the AC on all night. It's a kind of AC that has a thermostat on it, so it's not like it's just running full blast all night. It was just sort of running as needed, but it was running. It was like still going the whole night, more or less. Inside is 69. That's what I have my target set to, but it never gets down to 69. I think, let's see, I've had it on for about an hour. Right now, the thermometer in my room says it's 78, which is a hell of a lot better than 92. And I'm also sitting right in the path of the AC, where the AC is pointed, so I'm feeling rather comfortable. If I was somewhere else in this room, not being hit directly by the AC, I might be a little warmer than I'd like, but I'm good right now. HVAC is set to 73. When it gets over 100, has a trouble keeping up during the day. Yeah, and I think I got an AC for this room that had more BTU than was necessary, but part of the reason for that is that, like, our apartment and in this room, for some reason in particular, it faces the sun, and it's just like a greenhouse the way the sun interacts with it. It just gets hot, and it gets hot even when it's not that hot outside. It gets baking in here, and so as we had our first few days of heat, I anticipated. Hey, what the crap? Okay. I have to make a stream setting for a sec, but yeah, I anticipated, and I got the bigger BTU AC. Okay, hold on a sec. I'm gonna the stream is gonna be choppy for a second, but I want to change a setting that I thought I had already changed, but apparently I hadn't. So hold on a sec. Okay, I should be back on. I don't know if YouTube will acknowledge this change at this point with the same stream, but one of the things that, if you recall, people who were here last week, that I got irritated about is that I had turned my stream down. Oh, hold on, my World of Warcraft logged out. Crap, I didn't plan it well enough. Let me make sure I can get back into it without the 30-minute wait. But I was running at 30 frames a second last week, and that was irritating me, and I realized I had not changed it back up to 60. So I was able to change the setting by stopping the stream for a second, but I don't know if that's going to reflect on YouTube. So we'll see. It could be. I'd have to maybe start a whole new stream for that to happen. But I knew that got on my nerves a little bit when my game was running so silky smooth, and then I looked over OBS and it was like, hey, I'm giving your viewers a nice janky 30 frames. It's not even smooth 30, it's janky 30. It's janky 30 o'clock. 104 where you are, Food Brother? I think it may have hit 100 here yesterday. Did it, or Chaos? At least I heard different numbers yesterday, but one person told me it dipped over 100 yesterday. Oh, is someone... Wait, click live Oh, is someone still asking where the hell I went? Yeah. I'm back on. Is anyone... of course, no one's seeing this. I'm like, is anyone not seeing my stream right now? Type in chat. I'm back. I'm back. I restarted it on purpose. I don't know how to spell porpoise, but that's how I restarted it, on porpoise. It was janky. Yeah. So are you guys getting, let me see. Is it giving you that? Nope, it looks like it's not going to give you the 60 frames a second option. Not that I can see. Well, screw you, YouTube, and your unwillingness to adapt to my upgraded stream settings. I don't know. OBS got nice, but I think you might still be getting that 30 frames a second. Anyway, it's not a deal breaker. I was just hoping, I had intended to make it a 60 frame a second stream. Because World of Warcraft's one of those games that can actually do it. Does it say 60? Okay, good. In my stream preview, it just wouldn't let me go up that much. Okay, good. Good. So it worked as intended. I just wasn't sure because it's still considered by YouTube the same stream because I restarted it quickly enough. And I didn't know if you started a stream at 30 frames and then switched it midstream, if YouTube would let you do that, or if it just sort of locked you in to whatever you started at. Well, I know, that's what I noticed, is some games don't work well at 60, but some games really do. And, like, that's one reason I don't do 1080 streams anymore, for the most part either, is there are a lot of games that if I go down to 720, I can do a 60 frames a second. And I honestly feel like when I can, that is the optimal. I think it just looks better. It looks better than higher resolution graphics, in my opinion. A smoother stream looks better than a crisper stream, if I have to choose. Your highs have been in the 70s? Well, we're gonna have some days, in theory, or at least so I'm told, some upcoming days in the 70s. So, all right. Well, I've been yapping on this welcome screen for a long time now. I can keep yapping on a game screen.
45 seconds of gameplay.
Let's see. Sometimes you use software to limit game speed to 30 on purpose to make sure the stream is smooth. Is that something that will work? That if you... I gotta watch the encoders. If you change the game to 30 and set the capture to 30, it'll be a smoother experience? Because I was wondering that too. I don't think you did tell me you're an Uncle Lapis Lucas. Congratulations, man. Let me see. Let me think back. I've been an uncle for a long time now. That's right. I'm pretty sure my first niece, I think she's graduated from college, cum laude, with a PhD in rocket science or something. I don't know for sure because there's that she's from a faction of my family that kind of drifted off in its own direction after a divorce. So there's certain people that have... You probably don't need to know all this. Why am I giving you all this context, for God's sake? You don't need that. Anyways, suffice to say, I have an old niece, but she's part of that faction that... Nasty divorce. Nasty divorce. Brother, the wife, so terrible. They went to mediation. The mediation dude called her the C word because she was so... Okay. Did I just say something about not... You're here to watch G-Law play video games. You don't need to hear about this. And it's ancient history too, man. That's like 15, 20 years ago. You guys aren't interested in that. Okay. Your sister had a kid. Baby, yeah, hit me with it, man. Let's see. If the frame GPU gets maxed out, OBS can't read the frame buffer reliably. Okay. So, but if you keep everything consistent, that's right. Oops, wrong one. This one.
45 seconds of gameplay.
Oh, Sancticlaws. Should I... Okay, that's what I was going to ask is... I did start this guy, and he's a Dwarven Paladin, and he is Gamric, which is... Which was kept in mind that it could be a character that I stream with, but I'm not perfectly, like, dedicated to that. Do you think, Nick, should I create a priest called Sancticlaws Was it going to be the paladin or the priest? I can't remember. Because now I think about it, is the priest in the robes might look like a better Santa. But I think originally was Santa Claus was going to be a paladin, wasn't it? You'll bomb me with, oh my lord. Okay, well, Lapis Lucas, I'm just forewarn you in advance. I may not be that enthusiastic to fawn over each and every baby pick if there is a bombardment coming my way. It was a dwarf paladin joke originally. Let's see. Well, should I do it? I mean, let me see. I doubt there's another Santa Claus. Let's see. I gotta give him... There, that's nice, rosy. Wait, does he have to be... Should I make him really red? That's a little... There, I think I like that one. You sent them? Alright, man. Hold on. Just because Lapis Lucas... It's a big deal that he's an uncle now, and he has sent me pictures. I'm gonna check this stuff out. I think. Nope, I'm on Facebook. That's the wrong place. I do have a Gaming Lawyer Facebook page, but I never use it. Now I'm on LinkedIn. Why the hell? I'm going everywhere except where a person from YouTube would send me something. All right, let's see this. Oh my gosh! That kid is adorable. See, I have this thing where until a baby is about a year old and can speak in complete words and understand things, I refer to them as angry potatoes because they frequently, the only expressions that they have are displeasure and demanding something. And you never know what it is. Oh, and they poop. They poop a lot. The only facial expression is the facial expression they make as they're pooping. Or if they're about to vomit on you. So I like to get to know typically, and they're usually a lot of times, not usually, but a lot of times babies, let's be frank, for the first few months, they're not all the cutest to look at. But Lapis Lucas, this little one has got a smile, looks like it's got a little personality coming right out. Eliza, okay. Well, thank you for sharing that, sir. You don't use your own Facebook? Yeah, well, they've updated a lot of the graphics in terms of like there's modern shadows and there's some modern effects, of course, resolutions, but the character models are somewhat old school. Although I don't know, maybe I was expecting 2004 facial models to look worse. Let's get the biggest beard. There it is. That is the Santa beard. Let's give him some nice... I think... Well, no, the ponytail is not very Santa-ish. Like this? Hold on. Santa does have long hair, but... Maybe like this? You think this looks like a Santa Claus, Nick? Or would Santa Claus have the ponytail because he's badass? Let me see. Let me look at... I'm losing track of chat. Dropped back to 1.12 and made some quality of life improvements to the game, so it'd be fundamentally the same classic experience. Yeah, that seemed to be one of the things they were really debating about was how much of what changed over those first couple years, those first few years, was like necessary, like they were curing defects in the game, versus how much of it was just quality of life improvements that not everyone would necessarily appreciate. Like one thing that I'd forgotten about is when you're mining and you hit those mine nodes, it used to be you could hit it and then hit it again, and then it was a random amount of times that you might hit it once or twice and then it'd be empty, or you might hit it 4 or 5 times before it went empty. And you never knew when you started, when you came up to a mining node, how many hits you were going to get out of it. And then at a certain point, they just made it so you just do it once and you get what you're going to get and you move on. There's no second or third or fourth or, you know, however many times it is. Hold on. I'm a fan of, is that one, the high one, too good? I think I might be into this. Or do I... Generally, I find an attraction to this. I like the big... I like that big ponytail. It pleases... You know what? I'm going to go with that, just because it makes me happy. What if I play this character a lot? This is back before they had barbershops, so I got to choose what I like. I think they changed a lot of higher graphic settings. They added auto loot as an option, which I am a fan of. And they're not using the classic API that allowed full automation. Well, that's good. They blocked a few add-ons that existed in vanilla for group finding, which is just weird since they existed in vanilla. Yeah, I think I remember recently hearing this week that the next update was going to change things so that people couldn't use. And I think that maybe that exact thing you're referencing, Majos, that I heard of without being too savvy about what it is, since I don't plan on using add-ons. At least initially, I do not have an interest in making any alterations to the game. Let's see, he knows when you are sleeping. He knows when you're... So run, for goodness sake. Let's see, should I make him a paladin? I guess that would make sense. How would he look as a priest? Oh, ho, ho! Merry face melting. I think the original concept was paladin. So, and also paladin's a class that's good for streaming because I don't have to think too much about what's going to happen to him. A lot of people were not happy with Cataclysm massively changed. Well, yeah, that was the main thing that I kind of was nostalgic for, was just experiencing the world as it was pre-Cataclysm. And even as it was, I think even before Cataclysm, they were making tweaks to it. I think they had been already. So it was kind of cool to go back and see it. Like, what are those things called? Wendigos or whatever? That first, one of the earlier quests in the Dwarven area? After a certain point, didn't they... I seem to recall going in there and you couldn't skin them anymore. It felt like some sort of a weird, like, fantasy political correctness or something. Like, we shouldn't be able to skin humanoids. Or maybe I'm thinking about other creatures, furlbogs or something. Maybe you could always skin the Wendigos. But I remember when I was able to skin them, I was like, wait, couldn't you not skin these guys anymore? Okay, let me see. Let me get that spelling. Can I just copy and paste? Yeah! Alright, so now I'm a big fan of my job at copying and pasting so I don't screw anything up. And of course, the first thing I did was... Hold on, what the hell am I? Sancta Claus. The first thing I did was paste it and then screw it all up. Sancta Claus. That was how we're gonna spell it, right, Nick? Wrath of the Lich King was my favorite. Yeah, I was a big fan of Wrath of the Lich King when it came out. And I think that was like, if you were going to stop at a certain point, that was, in terms of like how far you could go with a classic experience before it tipped over. I think that was the point. All right. The name of what? Who the hell named their character Sancta Claus? That is some bullshit just happened right now. All right. What do you think, Nick? Is there a way we can doctor up this name so we can achieve the same effect but have it spelled slightly differently? We have to put our thinking caps on right now. Who the hell named their character Sancta Claus that wasn't us? That's some bullshit. And then we get in there and it's Maxie. He's like, I went on every server and I named a character Sancta Claus. That's all I did over the last 2 days. Oh, with a K? Okay. This sounds like the German version. It's a Sancta Claus. I come to bring presents for all the little boys and girls with my big hammer. Sancta Claus with CLAWS. That's another option. Or add an E. Hold on, let's see how that looks. Sancta Claus. That would even be bringing like the slight lawyerly aspect into it, and also the I was gonna say Tim Robbins. Who the hell is that dude's name? The Tool Time, the Santa Claus. You like my German accent, Maxi? I'll bring a special extra gift for you on this weekend when it's your birthday on Saturday and Sunday. So says Santa Claus. For the Horde, Tim Allen. Okay, I don't know why I couldn't remember. Tim Curry as the Santa Claus. Yes. Okay. So I need a vote. We have 3 options here. There's Santa Claus with a K. There's Santa Claus like this with an E. Or there's Sancti, or Sancti Claus spelled out like claws, like a rawr, like a cat has. And then there's Keck. Tim Curry was Pennywise the Clown, the original Pennywise. That's right, Matus. I need to watch the new It. I bought it. I finally bought it because it was on sale recently. And I started watching it and I was super into it, but I forget what happened. I think I was getting sleepy and I started dozing. Because even if I really, really, really am enjoying a movie, if I get too relaxed and I'm sleepy, it's gonna get ruined. I have to turn it off. Okay, which one should I try next? You know what? This is the one that I have up. Let's just try this. Because I do like this the way it is. Or did with the K look better? Hold on. I think Maxi was made the first. No, it was Madros made the first suggestion to add the E. So we'll try that. First in time. Here we go. Sancta Claus. Sancta Claus with 2 U's. Well, you might have been able to just do the K. It was just we were not able to spell it the way we wanted to. Oh, by the way, Nick, you let me know when you want a birthday song, because now that it's your actual birthday, I might be willing to sing you happy birthday again. I was gonna offer it as soon as the stream got going, but I just want to let you know that you have a redeemable at any time birthday song request. Let me have a little sip out of this bottle here. It's Diet Pepsi. Was the original translation from Orcish English you saw in chat when a Horde player typed? Was it all Keck? Let's see. We got a rockin' version for Nick. Oh crap, that's a little too much. Happy birthday to you, Nixie. Happy birthday to you, Nixie. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you, Nixie. How old are you now? Why am I reading this part? I'm sorry, I'm not used to this version. You're the first one to get it, Nixie. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I sang to you last week, yeah. But now it's your actual birthday, so I'm singing again. You're so metal, Nick. You get the metal birthday song. I'm not gonna sing it the way they're telling me to do it on the screen. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Nixie. There we go. And let me figure out where everything is here. None of the bad thing. Well, you who just brought up this. This one goes out to Nick C, who said he had to have this in his life. Thought I saw a man brought to life. He was warm, he came around and he was dignified. He showed me what it was to cry. Well, you couldn't be that man I adored. Don't seem to know, seem to care what your heart is for. Well, I don't know him anymore. There's nothing where he used to lie. The conversation has run dry. That's what's going on. There's nothing's fine, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I'm ashamed, lying naked on the floor. Illusions never change into something real. I'm wide awake and I can see the perfect sky is torn. You're a little late, I'm already torn. So I guess the fortune teller's right. I should have seen just what was there and not some holy lie. But you crawled beneath my veins and now I don't care, I have no luck. I don't miss it all that much. There's just so many things that I can't touch, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I'm ashamed, lying naked on the floor. Illusions never changed into something real. I'm wide awake and I can't see the perfect sky is torn. You're a little late, I'm already torn. Torn. This is so cringeworthy. Jesus. Nothing where you used to lie. My inspiration has run dry. That's what's going on. There's nothing right, I'm torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I'm ashamed, lying naked on the floor. Illusion never changed into something real. I'm wide awake and I can't see the perfect sky is torn. I'm all out of faith. This is how I feel. I'm cold and I'm ashamed, bowed and broken on the floor. You're a little late, I'm already torn. Torn. Something. I think I was holding it pretty well together until there. All right, Nick C. I joked about doing this, and then I mentioned the joke publicly, and you said it was a thing you had to have in your life, and now it is. All right, well, now that happened. So there goes my monetization for the stream, but it was worth it. It was worth it for you, Nick.
45 seconds of gameplay.
All right. So, and I saw what you said there, Matus. I saw what you said there, and who else? Other people joined in. Or was it just you, Matus, about the making Santa Claus was the only gameplay that we would see tonight? Evie, I am streaming a little earlier. Well, I've been streaming earlier because I go to bed early these days. So, yeah, but a lot of times I don't start until 8 because I just can't get my crap together. But today is Nick's birthday, so I needed to stream. I was aiming to stream today this week. We're playing WoW Classic, World of Warcraft Classic. We made a new dwarven paladin called Sancta Claus. The idea is that he's like Santa Claus, except he kicks ass and smites evil. Ho ho ho! Oh, he's Sancta Claus. Now we're kind of wishing I did it with the K because I was enjoying making that German accent. Oh ho ho! I bring all the children some presents. I'm Santa Claus. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll see the improper resolution for the loading screen. It's classic. It's one of the many things. We'll do the German anyways. I'm enjoying the German too much. All right, let's see that badass
The
intro.
stoic dwarves of Ironforge spent countless generations mining treasures from deep within the earth. Hidden within their impregnable stronghold of Ironforge Mountain, they rarely ventured beyond the wintry peaks of Dulmora. Recently, however, the dwarves unearthed a series of ruins that held secrets to their ancient heritage. Driven to discover the truth about his people's fabled origins, the great king Magni Bronzebeard ordered that the dwarves shift their industry from mining to archaeology. As part of the Grand Alliance, the stalwart dwarven armies have been called away to battle the merciless horde in faraway lands. In these perilous times, the defense of the Mountain Kingdom falls to brave dwarves like you. The spirits of the ancient kings watch over you, and the very mountains are your strength. The future of your people is in your hands.
Hello, I'm Santa Claus. I have come to help. I just realized I don't know how in-game sound was, but I was concerned it may be loud. I haven't done like a sound balance on this yet. All right, Matu. So for what makes this classic is I think this. What would this be? Somebody knows more than I do. I know initially what I thought they were aiming for was World of Warcraft as it was before pre-patching for Burning Crusade. But I'm not sure if that's what they settled in on. And also, I mean, there's still some modern graphics. The shadows you can already see. Classic WoW had blob shadows, resolutions higher. There's I can show you the system in graphics. They have sun shafts and liquid details, shadow quality. There's all sorts of more modern graphical options than were available in vanilla. But the world is, and the quests and locations of everything are as they were before any expansions. Doesn't have AQ40 yet either, due to time released. Oh, I didn't realize that. That was one thing I was so I haven't heard that they're gonna do this, but are they gonna be unrolling any of the expansions? I mean, because then we don't just have the same problem all over again. Or is it just literally classic WoW was never going to go past? It's never going to get to Burning Crusade. Let's see here. Look, gameplay.
How are ya?
Is the music still a touch loud right now? Okay, I turned it down a tad. All right, I've adjusted a little bit. But let me know if it's still too loud. The problem is I wasn't looking at the chat to see if you guys said it was too loud before or after I adjusted the volume. You'd play it again if they went through Wrath of the Lich King, and I agree, so would I. And I think they more or less kept the vanilla experience alive with those, except as they changed the world in order to accommodate places like the Blood Elves lands and transitions to the other expansion areas. Those required some additional areas. Like, didn't Wrath of the Lich King is what opened up the backside of Stormwind to have a port where you could catch ships? See, there won't ever be Burning Crusade. Okay, Madros. Yeah, I figured you or someone here would have immersed themselves in more accurate and definite information than I had. Old raiding is easy. I never did raiding. I've never done raiding in World of Warcraft. I've never been anything more than for all the hours that I put into this game, I've never been more than just a casual player. So the number of hours that I played all told was not what you would call casual, but the activities that I engaged in was. That makes sense. Oh wait, let me get my interface options. Let me get my auto loot set up, and I also like having my just get this out of the way and get all my action bars set up too. You're on the West. Hey Stone, you're on the Westfall server. I'm on Old Blanchy. It's because it's a West Coast server. I don't know how much of a difference that makes in terms of ping, but I wanted a West Coast server for that reason, and also so the server time matched my real life time. But that's secondary. So doing like this, I think this is how I have it. Here. Oh no, this is. I forgot that I don't have the judgment thing yet. Auto attacks, baby. Bring it home. You almost joined Old Blanchy. I just joined. Originally, I created a character on the East Coast server because I couldn't tell which ones were which. And after I did, I was like, I was only like a level in or something, and it started nagging me. I was like, hey, as long as I'm making my very first character and I'm only a few minutes in, I might as well get myself established on a West Coast server, just in case it's better. And I thought Old Blanchy, just to me, that was, I liked the name Old Blanchy. It amused me. So here I am on Old Blanchy. That was, well, I debated between a few different characters, but I almost went priest. Now, in vanilla, my main characters that I played were priest and, well, I tried just about everything. But the ones I played the most were priest because I duoed with my wife when I got her into the game and played priest. And the character I soloed the most was a mage. And I really liked how quickly mages could bring stuff down. Was the reason for that. Even though you spend a lot of time sitting there drinking water to regain your mana. Smaller bit. 4 people is not hard with current numbers. Yeah, the idea of coordinating with that many people or joining a guild that required you to be at certain places and certain times, because I essentially was married at that point, and it just was not, I could not prioritize. I could not prioritize that. I was already in law school, basically. I mean, my first year, within a year of WoW launching, I started law school, too. So, yeah, I couldn't, maybe my perception was wrong, but my perception was, if you're going to be raiding, you had to organize with people in order to do so effectively. And I could commit to no such organization. Never be a 40-man lead again. Let's see. You're thinking about playing a mage, but seeing server times on Reddit. I honestly haven't had trouble with server times. I've seen people on launch day, like, doing streamers and stuff, having horrific times on launch day. But, like, while we were on my welcome screen, I got booted out because I was idle too long. Surprise, surprise. And I logged right back in. Though I did note my theory that the first time you log into a server before you made a character on it, it did seem to take longer, so. You refused to use it until halfway through Burning Crusade. But, oh, look at all this wolf. When I started playing on launch night, this whole area was so covered with people that in order to get wolves, I had to run to, like, the far other side. I was hugging these hills looking for stray wolves because it was just a field of dead wolves and, like, 70 dwarves running around just killing everything before they could even spawn. But there was a little bit of fun even to that. There was a kind of a fun energy to the fact that there were so many damn people. And just, just finding some wolves to kill was kind of a challenge. But I think it was the energy of how many people were there made it feel more like a special event than a frustration trying to get gaming done. Let me finish to get this last wolf line right here. But yeah, mainly the reason I played Priest was because this was the game that I got my wife into playing to, like, the first time she ever was into games. And I told the story a bunch of times, but the reason was, oh, I got my 8th thing. The reason is because I was a few months after getting this game, I got accepted into law school. We were living here, actually like 5 miles from where I live now. And I got accepted to law school in LA. So, and my wife was finishing up her undergrad. So there was gonna be about 6 months where we would be apart. And I was even shocked that we had only known each other about a little over a year, that she had agreed to move with me. Because I know that was hard because all her family's here. But I was like, well, there's going to be 6 months where we're going to be apart.
What's on your mind?
And this would be a perfect activity for it. We had like the unlimited phone plan at that time. You couldn't talk to everybody as much as you wanted on phones, but you could have like family plans where you had to have unlimited. So I was like, we could just get like hands-free stuff, and if you try this game and you're into it at all, this is something that we can do like on the weekends when I'm in law school. And she's like, no, I don't play games. I'm not into that. Like, I don't like it. And I was like, okay, well, let's humor me.
What can I do for you?
I told her, sit down, and if you agree to sit down and make a character and play that character for 15 minutes,
watch your back.
If you don't like it, I will never bother you again. And I won't ask you again about it. But I'd like you to give it a try, because if it turns out it's something you're into, then it would be a great thing to keep us, like, to give us something to do together when we're 1,000 miles apart. And let me see, as she was making her character, like, she made a dwarven hunter, and as she was making that character, she got this little sheepish look on her face, and she was already like, she's like, I'm already kind of having fun just making this character. And then she played the character, and she ran around with her dwarf, and she was right here. She made a dwarf. It was right in this area. She started shooting her first wolves and doing that first quest. And she just the whole time had this little embarrassed grin. Like, she was embarrassed that she was enjoying it so much. I was like, do you like it enough that I should get it for your computer? She's like, yeah, I think so. And like, her computer didn't even have a graphics card. So I went out and I bought World of Warcraft and a graphics card, came home, upgraded her computer, installed the game, and then by that evening we were both playing together for the first time. Okay. Wait, what am I forgot they don't auto-populate this stuff. I needed to read this, and then I have to go into the little town and talk to my trainer. Hey, who bet $5 that I wouldn't finish one quest? Guess what just happened? We're like almost an hour into the stream, but I did finish that quest, damn it. Oh yeah, good point. Let me see. Well, there's that. It's better than what I got. The pants are better than what I got. That's better than the other thing I just got. So yes. And let's get rid of some of this junk.
Be good.
And let's talk to our trainer.
No. Keep your feet on the ground.
And let's see, there's the one skill. Okay. I got 83 silver. That's the other thing that's classic, is you don't get a lot of money in this game. At least not to start.
Safe.
And also, when you buy your skill, it doesn't automatically end up on your... It doesn't end up on your bar automatically. Let me see. Let me get in here. Well, that one showed up, because that's like an extra part of your interface. What is it? My stone form I don't have automatically. There was something else that I didn't end up using that much. I'm gonna have the find treasure racial. Ooh, now I can detect treasure. Once I get gathering skills, I never use that again. That's copper. It is copper. What do you think I am? Made of money? Santa Claus! Oh ho ho! I am Santa Claus! I'm really now thinking I should have done it with a K. I'm not thinking it hard enough that I want to go back and change it. But now that I've gotten a taste for German Santa Claus, I'm starting to feel like I should have gone the K spelling route. Alright. I did actually read all these quests when I was playing last night, but now I'm feeling too distracted to do it. When you're streaming, you got enough to read, looking at chat, to look at all this crap. Let me see. So I just need to look at give me the bullet points, sir. 6 rockjaw claws, trogs, rockjaw trogs, and 6 burly rockjaw trogs.
See you soon.
It made me say it too. Okay. At first I wasn't even sure that there were quest trackers like up here. I was like, wait, was that something they added later? And then I opened it up and realized I could put it up there. It's like, to not even be able to have this up here would really piss me off. This setting for scrolling text. Well, I did look to see if there was... Now, I didn't spend a lot of time looking, but I did look briefly to see if there was an obvious thing I could set to change the speed at which that text appears. But I didn't notice it. Hey, buddy. Yep, things were slower back in these days. World of Warcraft. You just get your little buff on. This thing, all that it does is fills you with Holy Spirit. And hallelujah. And each melee attack causes additional 1 to 5 holy damage. So you turn this on, and then you just do your auto attack. And that's it. You just let it go. I'm gonna have a sip of water here. Oh, look what he did. Hey, good job. Good job, Santa Claus. We got that done faster than I thought he would. All right. That's right, 1 to 5 extra damage. Here, watch, I'll do it again. After every hit, you can see the yellow number goes up, and that's how much he did in holy damage. Just so you can see numerically how much ass you're kicking because of that ability. But that's where eating food for that 2 extra stamina, like all that crap makes a difference in classic. And just like a little bit extra DPS, because that was my experience leveling over the last few years, was you just breeze through it, and it felt like it was 1 to 2 shot kills all the way, no matter what class you played, and you never got close to dying, almost no matter what you did, what you ran into. Yeah, I'm rolling high. I'm a high roller, Nick. Let's see, here's your stack of letters, which is good because this is how much inventory I'm gonna have for a damn while. Oh, another letter. All right, give me your other quest about boar hunting. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I need to kill 12 small crag boars.
Watch your back.
That I can do. Let's get this going again. But I am curious too, because I played a bunch of Paladin. I haven't played anything except Paladin so far in Classic WoW, and I'm curious to see how some of the other classes feel. Initially I was trying to choose between Paladin or Priest, because I consider Priest to be a good survivable class as well. Oh, it's a regular Trog. Snarly Charlie, how you doing, buddy? And nice to see you, sir. Well, I don't know if you've noticed. I didn't post on Twitter. I need to do that since I don't know, it's been a long time, but I've still in the back of my head feel like it should be noted. I should also be automatically notifying Twitter like it used to. But I've still been streaming somewhat regularly, but I have not been saving, or I haven't been releasing the VODs afterwards as public videos. So anyone who stumbles on my channel that hasn't seen me, hasn't watched me for a while, it's gonna look like I haven't done anything in several months at this point. Whereas in reality, recently I've been streaming just about every week. I went a couple times, especially since I started working, I had delays. I went at one point I went a month without streaming at all. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what the difference is with the notifications now. Are you saying before you didn't have the bell and it would still let you know when I was on? Because I was wondering if even if people did have the bell, if they're getting notified consistently. Okay, that's all the burly rock jaws. Hey, look. This is better than my noob armor. I am Santa Claus. Alright, where was I? Oh, I needed to go over here. And I needed to kill boars. Even then, YouTube notifications are crap. At best, half the notifications work. Yeah, I know I have some people that I'm sure I have the bell turned on to, but I barely get any notifications when people go live.
What's on your mind?
And when they do, it just almost seems random. You're like, what? I haven't watched this person forever. Why are they telling me it's live? Oh, YouTube Gaming. Okay. I know the YouTube Gaming app that you had on like an iPad and mobile devices seemed like it did a pretty good job of letting people know when I was streaming. I never used that way, right? I think I had it on and I had to turn it off because it was becoming invasive, in my personal time, having it go off constantly. So I didn't use it that much, but I remember it did seem like it was pretty proactive about letting you know. Let me see, what am I doing? Whelps, boars, and the regular rock trog thingies. You haven't had any issues with YouTube notifications in years? Well, I don't know. I cannot explain the discrepancy in user experience. All I know is I never paid that much attention to it one way or the other. I just know that over the last however long, people have been complaining to me that they used to know when I was streaming, and then they didn't. But I would say, Madros, you seem like you show up consistently. Like, you don't have any trouble. I feel like you're always notified when I stream, because it seems like you always show up. Whereas I'm convinced that it's not just a line of BS, that there are many people who, like, would have at least dropped in on many of my streams, except they didn't get notified for whatever reason. Email? You use email notifications with motion. Okay, well maybe that's it. Ah, yep. Get that boar. And just let it go. Let it go. Love. So relaxing. I don't have to do anything. I'm just watching. It's like watching a very soothing television show where short Santa Claus beats the shit out of a boar. Just like we used to do at Grandma's house. You've missed one of my streams. That was because you already went to bed. You're like, I remember the stream that I missed. It was awful. I felt terrible afterwards. I think I'm gonna need to refill my water soon. I got two problems. My water is running low. My water is also, it's also warm. It's gotten warm. Which, I like it when it's full and it's cold. Sorry, Mr. Boar, but little Timmy wants a liver pie for Christmas. These boars don't even have livers. That's in Westfall, where you get the gourd tusk livers, and you make gourd tusk liver pie. I remember it well. Yeah, maybe if my next character, I'll make a human priest or a human, not rogue. It's the other one I play. Oh, mage. Because it would be cool to run through that whole Stormwind area, leveling again. Cold water is the best water. I agree. Yep. That's one of the first things I changed too. Is I like the music, so I set the music to loop. So far, I'm not bored of it. Let's get some of that water going on. Yeah, this water is just room temperature. It's almost like you almost can't feel it going in because it's indistinguishable. The temperature from the inside of my mouth. The murlocs. I remember murlocs. The little like that was a terrifying sound because you knew it probably meant you were about to be mobbed. If you had not encountered that sound intentionally, and even in those cases. Murlocs could very quickly get out of hand because there were a million of them and they all had huge aggro ranges and they like to shuffle around a lot. Let's see, how are we doing? This is only my 7th of 12 Cragboars. Yep. We used to took our time back in Vanilla WoW. There was no rushing through these old quests. You just set your auto attack and had yourself a nice sip of lemonade. You ask your neighbor how the kids are doing. It was a different time. Here we go. Buff and auto attack. Now that was also another thing that's a huge contrast is I hated paladins in Vanilla WoW, and it wasn't until later when they became a lot more interactive that it wasn't until, I don't know, 5 years ago that I first really got into playing a paladin and super enjoyed it. And it was so different. Like the whole auto attack thing, like I couldn't handle it. And they have the weird, like, seals and judgments system, which felt cumbersome to me. Holy Pallies and Raids were the most. You buffed AAK 5 minutes, buff repeat. Yeah, again, like, I have no idea. All I know is if I was going to be grouped and I wanted to play the role of a healer, I probably would not have chosen Paladin. But I guess they had their role. I never did raids at all, but occasionally I would do the 5-mans or 6-mans, regular. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6, because I spent a long time and I did that content rarely as well. But we used to do like Dead Mines and the early stuff back when WoW was new. Again, it's been like probably over a decade since I really ran group content either. Unless it meant like when you're 90th level running through an old dungeon solo just so you could poke your head around and see what's in it. I did a little bit of that later. You don't remember Knowles being as bad? The exception was Hogger. People didn't know what an elite mob was yet. Yeah. The infamous. He's not just famous. He's infamous. Those dungeons were 5-mans. Okay, that's right. I couldn't remember whether their full group was 5 or 6 people. Was the thing. So yeah, I ran a few of those, and it was usually when I ran them with my wife, and the two of us would then fill in the rest of the group and go in and do some of those things.
What's on your mind?
And so in those cases, I experienced them as a priest. And I think I might have been Spec Shadow, so I wasn't built to be the best healer in the game.
Be good.
Yay, level 4, but I got 1 gold, so I'm not even gonna bother going to buy my skills. Or should I? Hold on. Because I'm running Tough Jerky. Wrist. 12, 4, 12. Got a cape. Sweet. Sancti Claus, my outfit is coming together, yeah? I'm looking quite fly, aren't I? Those my flowing Santa Claus robes. 1 gold. Did I say 1 gold? I misspoke. I still remember playing Vanilla WoW. I remember the first time I had over a gold. And the first time that I clearly remember having over a gold, I'd already been playing for probably, like, it was in the realm of months. And it was because I also just spent money. Like, I get money and I would spend it too. Like, I wasn't conscious. I think that might have been part of the problem. But I remember having over a gold, and it was when... And I was an altaholic too. So that was maybe another problem, as I never played one character and just stuck with it. But I had a mage, it was an undead mage, and I played it up to, I think he was in the 20s, level 20s, and I remember
I've the finest word.
noticing I had over a gold for the first time, and it was a big deal.
Off with you.
Yeah, let's see what this guy has to say. He's the one whose belongings are scattered all over the Knoll camps. Or are they Knolls? No, I can't. The Trogs. It's Trogs.
Be seeing you.
Sancti Claus. Oh wait, I should have looked for repairs.
Talk to me.
How can I not need repairs yet? Did they change that already?
What can I do for you?
Let me see. There, that's nice. I think Judgment. Ooh, can I afford both of them? Hot damn. I can afford both of my 4th level skills. I'm rolling in the dough, baby. Let's see. Get that up there. Let's get that spell book open. Okay, we got that already. There's that devotion aura. And, oh wait, that's what I already had. Never mind, I don't need that. The Blessing of Might, that's the new one. And the Judgment. Alright, now I can hit him with the old 1-2. The old 1-2-a-rooney. I have the seal, and I have the judgment. This is when game starts to get a little fast and furious. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. G-Law is about to go hog wild. Let's see, who am I still killing? Regular rock jaws. I need to go to those, the whelps at those camps, and I need to get that guy's, Felix's box chest and bucket o' bolts. Snoop Troggy Trog. Snoop. Doo, 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 doo. Hey, and this guy's got something for me too. Hey, buddy. Oh, you have to let that fill in. Should be a quest in which you spy on a Trog camp. Here you go. I didn't read the whole comment. I just saw Snoop Troggy Trog at the end. But the whole comment was gold. Snoop Troggy Trog spying on the Trog camp. Quest time. Oh, there's a quest timer. Well, looks like I gotta take 5 minutes and just run special. I know I could have probably arranged that so that I didn't have to make a special trip right back. But this is the kind of slow pace classicness that you just slow down and smell the wild flowers once in a while. That was a silver comment at best. I guess in current WoW it would be a gold comment, but in classic WoW, you're lucky if you get a silver for it. That was pure silver. Solid silver. Sancti Claus. All right.
Hi.
Here you go. Bring back the mug. Can do. You just never know. You just never know what it's gonna be next.
Off with you.
I ran all the way here to bring him a mug. Gonna run all the way back to return the mug. Silver will keep the Worgen at bay until at least Cataclysm? Does that actually mean something really in game that I'm not remembering? If you carry silver coins, does it make Worgen afraid of you? I feel like I would have remembered that if that was an actual mechanic. Was it? It almost sounded like it was like the apple a day keeps the doctor away comment. I brought your mug. There you go, Nori.
You got my attention.
And there's the mug.
See you soon.
All right. Let us continue on our merry little quest. See, I don't need the boars anymore. They're werewolves and thus silver is bad. It was okay. I know they're werewolves, but like for a second there, I really was trying to remind myself. Was there some mechanic where if like silver would affect Worgen? All right, there we go. Gotta remember to use that judgment. And there we go. Hit him with that auto attack. Oh, there's the thing I need over there. That's another thing that's classic. None of this stuff sparkles anymore. Although I'm pretty sure in modern WoW, a lot of these things you could turn off optionally, but the game wasn't designed. The modern game is not designed around those features being turned off. It's designed under the assumption that you'll be using that stuff. Ooh, leather belt. It's my first belt. Daddy's first belt, baby. Yep, it's taken. That's another thing I forgot about too. Hey! Is mining, and when I first started like skinning and I was failing, like it'd be like skin, failed. Skin, failed. Skin, failed. And it would be over and over and over again. I was like, I remember that. And watching like the thing saying your defense, your skill in two-handed maces has gone up. And then later you find a better weapon, it's a different type, and you can't hit anything until you've walked around and like swung it at something for 10 minutes. All right. That's one more on Santa Claus's naughty list. Wait a minute, did I think I ran past one of their camps. Yep, good old Santa Claus. I've come to bring you presents of justice. Oh my gosh, unarmed skill? I didn't even remember that was a thing. Seriously, unarmed skill? I mean, I know, is that technically what monks have? But, okay. Is this where I already got the thing? Yep, there's the box I already picked up. Okay. It's alright, I was gonna have to go back anyways, because I know the first one is at the cave entrance, so. Oh, I'm almost up to my 14 of those things. I'm shockingly low on Rockjaw Trogs. Oh, the burly, no, it's the regular one. The burly ones are a dime a dozen. The classic, untainted Rockjaw Trogs, however, that's a little bit, they're a little bit harder to come by. Oh, some will disarm you, making you use your fists. But is it really worth having, like for practical? Now, I understand just wanting to do it for the heck of it, but does that make a practical difference, the amount of time you spent unarmed, if you actually dedicated some significant time into honing your unarmed skill? Or is it just, you just look at it like a debuff where you're not really doing any damage for a few seconds and go on with your day? I don't know. I never considered the unarmed skill as like a viable, worthwhile thing that was actually worth developing. It was just there like as a curiosity. Oh, let me get this back. Hippo was a thing, pointless, but it was a thing. Like if you got a weapon, you're not proficient in your skill. Right, okay. But you couldn't ace out, when you aced out your unarmed, you couldn't then run around with no weapons and somehow be effective, right? I guess that's what I'm getting at. All right, let's knock them down. We got that buff going on now. We got those extra 5 points of damage. Let's see, we filling up yet? Nope. Not yet. Well, hey, Chauncey. No, Chauncey, you can't come out of the cage because of the fan. For the fan will hurt you. It was just a thing just to do it. Because as a mage, like, holding weapons in your hand for stat boosts is still a significant thing. So not having anything in your hands definitely put you at a disadvantage no matter what class you were. Unless there's certain items or mechanics I'm not aware of. Maybe there's some secret thing that only certain very special people knew. How to be a badass monk before there was a monk class. You debated rolling a mage just for their portals. Well, that was one of the things I specifically thought about was, and I'd forgotten too how rare travel capabilities are. Like, there aren't flight paths everywhere. Like, I was in Karanos and I realized I couldn't fly up to Ironforge and I had to run up that long winding road up to Ironforge. And as I ran up, I was running with and passing tons of other people because everyone else had to do it too. And it made those areas like have a point again, which there was something about it made me enjoy that. The fact that, yeah, you see that big road off in the distance going up the mountain? If you want to go to that city, you got to go up that road. And that's an example of something where I'm like, is it just neat because it's nostalgic? Or is there something about that makes you more connected to the world that your character's inhabiting? And that's where I have my internal debate about how much is actually makes the game more immersive, like honestly makes it more immersive, some of these old mechanics, versus how much of it is just nostalgic. Like, oh, I remember running up this hill, that's fun. Portals and free food, definitely. Yeah, having those portals was a thing. And the other thing, I didn't even realize it until yesterday. I think I was talking to my wife and I was like, I totally forgot that if you wanted to catch a boat from one continent to the other in vanilla, you had to run all the way to the wetlands. Like all the way, I forget the name of the town. Is it Thesselmar? I don't know. All the way to that town at the very edge of the wetlands. And that was one hell of a run. And that was, I think that, I'm trying to remember, was there anywhere else that you could catch a boat? I think that's where you had to go. So if you're in Stormwind and you wanted to go to like the Elven lands, you're like, you better have some time to set aside because that's a damn journey. Menethil Harbor, that's right. That's right. The Naked Mile. 3 bags of shards and run out people during a raid trying to use the summoning stone. Okay. After Arthas Menethil. Booty Bay went to Ratchet. That's right, Booty Bay. Okay, that was in the original too. Now I remember that too. But as a noob, if you were like a noob player and you wanted to go to another, like say you made a dwarf and your friend made an elf and one of you wanted to run to the other person's newbie area so you could level together. Well, guess what, baby? One of you had better put aside 2 hours of your life just to take the journey where you probably end up wandering into dangerous areas and getting killed every 5 seconds. It wasn't like it was an easy journey either for like a low-level character. In fact, you probably gained your first 5 levels just running through those areas. You had to go there for lock quests, Hoarder, or I forgot there were like all the skills quests that you had to do to progress in professions. And the classes all had like this just things I'm just remembering now. Like the class quests which you needed to unlock fundamental aspects of your class. And they were hard, weren't they? Like some of them were, it wasn't like they were easy. Menethil would just take you to Theramore and Teldrassil, so it was an alliance must. Oh, right. Let me see. What am I doing? Trogs? Okay. I'm getting some game done. I know Matus isn't here anymore, but he threw down the gauntlet. Maybe he is lurking. I don't know. Matus typically is not the type that hangs out in one stream for hours and hours. on a regular basis, though. At least that's not the impression I get. Yeah, Doomguard was Royal PETA. I don't remember what that is. Oh, maybe there's I can't believe I've only gotten 3 of those Rockjaw. Just the regular ones. To Dark... Yeah, I think it was Dark Shore. I think you're right, Madros. Yeah, it was Dark Shore. And then you had to catch another boat if you wanted to go to Teldrassil. But wasn't there a flight path too? Or could you only take the boat to the mainland? To and from the mainland? Now I can't remember. I know if you tried to swim, your stamina, you'd hit that point where your stamina would drop like a rock and you'd die if you didn't turn back right away. Yeah, so there's a lot of little things like that that I just forgot. And there's little details that I noticed going around where I'm like, oh yeah, that used to be here. Like when you come out of this valley and you cross that little area where there's that dude's shooting range. And later you actually have quests to go back there. It just seems like there's all these little details that as the game evolved, it was basically just trying to propel you past all of these zones and level you as quickly as possible to the new content. And at the expense of a lot of little locations and details. The flight path might have been later. Yeah, there's things like that I just can't remember. They patched the game a bit, but you used to be able to drop a Doomguard near a Horde player in Sanctuary City. When you got far enough away, it would start attacking random people. The AFK. Huh. Wait, Doomguard being one of the Warlock pets? That's one of the classes that I never leveled that far, so I can't remember what. But I think when you say Doomguard, is that one of the high-level Warlock pets? Yeah, no, I don't even have a single maxed character in World of Warcraft as of Battle for Azeroth. I never bought Battle for Azeroth. Is that the newest one, Battle for Azeroth, that's still they have to buy? I think that's the one. I get them confused too. After a certain point, what the expansions are called. But Warlock is one of the classes that I never really raised that high. Shaman is another one. Shaman I never raised very high. Rogue I never raised very high. I think I got a Rogue up into the 30s. It was a special Warlock summon. Alright. That's what, upon reflection, I thought you meant, but I don't know if it had special mechanics that would enable you to drop it someplace where you're not. Anyways. That was, I guess that was my very long and confused way of saying that the Doomguard exploit was a mechanic of which I would not have been aware. Maybe, even if I were a Warlock, I wouldn't have been aware of it. Probably not. But especially because I wasn't a Warlock. Battle for Azeroth is the newest. Okay. So then there was, I can't remember again. As long as I'm right over by this place, I should just give this guy his bucket of bolts back. Sancta Claus. We finally made a Sancta Claus, Nick. Very pleased. Although I'm disappointed that we couldn't spell it the way we originally wanted to. Need a party to summon the Doomguard, and controlling it was temporary before it turned hostile. That rings a very vague bell. But again, I don't think I never had a character that could do it, and I don't think I was ever in a group with a character who did it. The only thing I knew they could do special that required a group was where you could summon other party members if you already had 3 with you. Which I thought was kind of neat, but very situational as compared to like the ports of a mage, where it's like, hey, I can port all over the world, and then I get a little higher level, and I could bring y'all with me too. Wait a minute. Now you gotta. See, this is what happens. I get talking. I look at chat. I'm still moving around in game, but my brain is overlooking any context. So, for example, I just had no idea whether I just picked up another quest or not. Infernals were the same. That would be an example of another warlock, right? Still warlocks we're talking about? Be another warlock summon, which I had no experience. I think at a certain point when leveling became super blazing fast, I did play a warlock maybe into the 20s or 30s, and that's about as high as I ever went with a warlock. Let's see, a monk I got really into for a little while. I got a monk up to about level 6, I think 68. And then I think that's when I started playing paladin. I was into that monk, but then I got tired because it felt like I had to push way too many buttons in my monk's rotation. It started feeling like a lot of work for my fingers. And I was like, can I just play a class where I basically only have to rotate 3 skills over and over again till I turn until I hit level cap? That's what I'd really like. But I'd like to engage those 3 skills constantly and in an engaging way. And then I played Paladin and I was like, yep, this was the answer to all of my prayers. Okay, there's a basic Trog. How do you like that, huh? They're all burly. Where's your little non-burly brethren? Where are you keeping the non-burlies? They just gave you all the pets automatically? Well, you didn't start with all the pets. You just acquired them like you acquired your skills. Like, bam, you turned level this. Here's this pet, right? You know, but... And that was another thing, too. Did you used to start Warlock with a pet from level 1? Because I remember with Hunters, wasn't it... Hunters, you didn't get your own pet till... Was it level 10? I just remember the beginning levels for a Hunter were very different from the rest of being a Hunter. Because there were those levels where you had to do a special quest line just to be able to have a pet. That's another thing. My wife loved playing the Hunter class, and when she first started, it was her first character she ever tried, and I almost tried to talk her out of it because I was afraid, like, there's just too many. You have to control yourself and you have to control a pet. I was afraid it was going to be too much for her, but she loved it. Like, you had ammunition you had to keep track of, and the pets, you had to keep the right kind of food for the right kind of animals, or else they become angry. There were a lot of those details to like classes like that they removed from the game later. Oh, this is a big jump up in the world. And I finished all of my who's I turning this into? The new threat. Ballier Frosthammer. Oh, he must be back in town because I don't see him. I don't see him over here. Okay, we'll go in and get that journal. We'll pop in there right quick. Succubus quest in Horde territory, you had to earn it. You mean, so if you're an Alliance, you had to go in Horde territory? Yeah, remember some of the big, like the level, didn't every class have, was it at level 40, there was a major class quest that was, it seemed like all of them had a quest at a certain point that were pretty demanding. But I guess from what you're saying, like that's an example of a quest that was it was almost like the devs were picking on you. Like, oh, you want to be a badass, huh? Badass warlock. All right. Just run your ass into the center of Orgrimmar. See if you can get in there without dying. All of a sudden, I suddenly had like nostalgic moments for EverQuest. There was some weird crap you could do in there. Like I remember you could turn, if you had a character that could turn invisible, you could run into the middle of enemy faction capitals, and as long as you stayed invisible, you could do it. And there was this one time I was playing on a PvP server, and there was someone from an enemy faction that was griefing me. And so I logged in with a higher level character. It was a druid or a mage. It was something that could turn invisible and turn other people invisible. And I was like, hey, I found the guy that was griefing me. And I was like, hey, do you want, I forget, I named some magic item. I have an extra magic item. He was like, maybe I was a mage and he was a starting mage. I was like, I have one of my old things in the bank. Do you want it? And he's like, yeah, but I can't go into town because it's an enemy faction. I'm like, don't worry. It's like, come on, I'll turn you invisible. I'll bring you in the bank, and I'll give you this item. So I brought him into the heart of the town, into the bank, and then I was like, hold on, let me cast a refresher on your invisibility spell. And I don't know how many of you played EverQuest, but the way it worked in EverQuest is if you died, you were bound to a specific spot in the world. And if you died, that's where you would respawn, and you respawn naked. You had to go back to find your corpse to get all your stuff back. You'd just be literally in your underwear when you came back from respawning. And in order to be bound to a new location, it wasn't like in this game where you just run up to an innkeeper and every town you go to you can be bound to. You had to find, I think there were only a couple of magic using classes that could bind you to new locations. And I think it had to be in town areas. And so my mage cast a bind spell on this guy inside the bank of what for him was an enemy faction. So, and then when his invisibility spell wore off, there's guards everywhere, and they immediately slaughtered him. And every time he would respawn, he'd respawn back in his bank, and those same guards would be right there. And he started massacring him. I feel like, in retrospect, I'm laughing. Like, maybe what I did to him didn't quite match the crime, because the thing of being a PvP and griefing members of the enemy faction while they're trying to level, that was sort of one of the points of PvP. And the fact that I was so irritated that he was interfering with my leveling experience that I played this trick on him made me a little bit ashamed of myself. But just thinking about old school mechanics made me remember that little gem of a moment. And I'm sitting here telling the story again, and I'm like laughing. I'm laughing gleefully at what probably this guy for a few minutes thought I had ruined his character by binding him in this location. Like he just was not going to be able to play that character anymore. Well, Maxie, I let him suffer for about 5 minutes, and he was flipping out. He's sending me PMs. He is just flipping out. And so eventually I went in, I rescued him, and I brought him out. And I might have even given him a gold or something, an apology. I didn't let it do it forever. I wasn't that bad, but I did let him think for at least a few minutes that his character's career might be fucked. They were trying to troll, I got trolled even harder. Yeah, but I mean, that's how I felt at the time too. But in retrospect, that's what I was like. Was it really appropriate? Because if you're playing on, I mean, it's like here, you had to choose a PvP server, and if you're playing on a PvP server, and someone of the opposite faction attacks you, of course he was doing it over and over again. I guess there weren't well-defined. There was not well-defined etiquette in terms of what was considered griefing or harassment back then, and maybe at this point in MMO etiquette and community guideline standards, that might not fly anymore, how he was handling me. But I know at the time that his behavior was not considered particularly offensive. Oh, hold on. Moving in. Gotta get him while he's hot. Brad Pritchard, bringing it in hard with the pipe cock. Oh, I should have my auto attack turned on. I'm having myself a boss fight. It's an auto attack boss fight. Got the journal. And welcome, Brad. Welcome to my World of Warcraft Classic Wednesday night live stream. Wednesday to celebrate a very special occasion. Nixie's birthday. That's why I'm streaming tonight instead of tomorrow night. Now, how you doing, Brad? I'm trying to remember. You're not a World of Warcraft fan, right? I'm having the distinct impression that I've asked you this before, and the answer was no. Should have named his character Pipecock. We'd have to probably do K-A-W-K, or because I have a feeling WoW is the kind of game where if you put cock in your character's name, they've got a filter that's going to pick it up. But pipe cock, that'd probably work. That'd probably be even better. I should make a character named Pipecock. Although, would that be the kind of character that I would be like somehow I get attached to, and I spend all this time leveling him, and then like as he's pushing level cap, someone's like, "Hey, you bypassed community guidelines by putting cock in your name," and then I'd be like, reported, telling Pokefan 50,000 little Jimmy. Wonder how he's doing. He still pops in every now and then. I think he's popped in, maybe even since I moved. I think he might have popped in at least once. The legendary Pokefan lives on. Pipecock. There you go. Right. What do you mean? I'm not referring to genitalia. I'm referring to a useful like thing to seal off water. You know, water. It's like, you know, plumbers use it. I don't know who. I'm not sure who uses it, but I know it's certainly not referring to somebody's penis. That's all I can say. Obviously, based on this spelling. All right. Let's get back here, because I think I got a quest to turn in here. And look at me, I'm already level 5. I think I'm leveling faster than I did the last couple days because I'm not competing to just get some of the basic spawns killed.
Great to meet you.
This one probably worth more. Oh, what does he want? Is it the big report to go to Keranos?
Be good.
Gotta stop by whatever this little town thing is over here. Has this even got a name? This little place? I just realized I had a little arrow pointing at it, and now I don't. It probably has a name, but I just can't remember. But I've got to go there to prepare for my long journey to Keranos. Very important. You can't approach such an undertaking taking lightly here in World of Warcraft Classic. Hey, it's Debella. Isn't that the goddess of debauchery in Skyrim? Elder Scrolls? Here.
Here there.
Let's see. These pants. Oh, I should put these pants on my bot day. I should put that on. I got the hammer, didn't use it. And everything else I can sell.
You got my attention.
3 silver, that's 3 copper to repair my belongings. What do I look like? I'm made out of money? I had to work hard for all of these coppers.
Watch your back.
Yep, I sang him. I found a new happy birthday karaoke song that I acquired today just to mix things up because it was Nick's birthday. And I want to say the first time I ever sang happy birthday to that old karaoke track, I still have it too. The first time I ever sang it was to Nick, I think. I remember Nick thinking I was going to get a copyright strike, but I did it anyways, and I think he respected me more after that. I think that's how I won Nick's his friendship and his loyalty, was because it was that important for me to sing him happy birthday that I didn't even give a shit about a copyright strike. Oh, it just ended 5 minutes ago. That's right, but Nick, it's still your birthday where I am. Nick is clearly G-Law's favorite. I'm not gonna lie, Nick is among my favorites, Maxie. I will not say he is my declared favorite of everyone. But I would be lying if I
Keep
didn't
your feet on the ground.
suggest that Nick was a favorite of mine. For your birthday, I need to get see if they have I have to set a birthday song to the theme of "Can You Quack Like a Duck," and see, and see if there's a karaoke version of that. And I can come up with a special song for you, Maxie. Something is doubly cringe-inducing as Nick's torn video. You turned 30 on Saturday? Oh, you will turn. Congratulations, man. You know what, Snarly? I think I saw you mention that. Was it in Barbara's stream? I saw you mention it somewhere. Maybe it was on Twitter in a comment.
Well met.
I remember seeing that and thinking, you young bastard. And you're being 29-edness. What a bastard. Being 29. I'm all kinds of jealous. I ought to be 29 again. There's a reason I make all of my characters in World of Warcraft with long gray beards these days, because this is how I feel on the inside. But not back when I was 29.
Be good.
That's something I actually did. My character, the first character I made with my wife, is a priest, and he has like long black hair and a ponytail. And I think as for some reason when I was in my 40s, I started updating him so he looked the same, but I gave him gray hair. But occasionally I make it black again, but I would say the lore was that he was dyeing it. It was fake. It wasn't real anymore. Although in real life, it's not like, I do have some grays, but by and large, it's mostly in my beard and it's not everywhere. And if I shaved my beard, people probably wouldn't really notice the grays that I have. But in my beard, it's actually quite noticeable. Gray has a conspicuous presence. Wait. Oh no, my belt is better. When I turned 30, my feet broke. They're better now. Did they really? Like, did you have an accident or something? Or was it just like, oh shit, my bones are brittle. They just broke. You stood up and they were like crack. Well, I mentioned this a few times, but it was essentially right when I turned 30 that I first had back problems. Because my birthday's in November, and a few weeks later, at Christmas, I was bringing in, we're at my brother-in-law's house, and I was bringing in Christmas presents from the car, and I decided I was going to bring a whole bunch at once. And the way to go from the car into his house, you had to like through his little entryway area. You had to walk kind of awkward to get through it because there was a bunch of crap there already. And I think at a certain point, between the way that I had to pivot weird and the amount of crap that I decided to carry, like I threw out something in my low back and it stayed painful and stiff for several months. And it never has felt, I mean, I'm functional and stuff, but it's never felt as carefree ever since then as it did before I turned 40. My back has ever since been somewhat of a concern that I've had to monitor. Plantar fasciitis. I'm probably saying it wrong. Plantar fasciitis. That's one of those things that I saw a gajillion times in the medical records that I reviewed, but I never knew how it was actually pronounced in real life, IRL. I have a vast wealth of medical terminology that I know but cannot speak properly. You ended up needing back surgery due to a crushed disc, possibly from a car accident? Oh, crap. Now if I get a good night's sleep, your back hurts when you wake up. Yeah, back injuries are the fucking worst. I mean, that was something that, from the job that I did, I learned. And it doesn't take much. I mean, for a lot of times, it's just people that had whatever their job was. Even if it was just sitting too much, their backs would get fucked up. Or it seemed like their backs would get is it deconditioned? Is that the word? Their backs would become weak, and then they would be like, oh, I've got to get a file box down from the storeroom. And then there's a pop, and all of a sudden they're like, their back's all fucked up for the rest of their lives. Fasciitis? Fasciitis? Like that? Let me see. Fasciitis. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can remember that. It very well could be one of those things that will not stick in my soft, flubbery, middle-aged mind. I'm not like I was in my 30s when I went to law school and I was like a learning beast. That was another thing that was a little bit of a shock to me as I got older. My undergrad, I was you know, my early, like around 20, and I felt like I could learn anything, and it wasn't that hard. I felt really, really smart. Like, all the calculus and whatever crap I wanted to learn, just pack that shit in there. I got it. And then by the time I started law school when I was in my early 30s. I think I was 31 to 32 when I started law school. All of a sudden, my brain is just like, you want to put what in here now? It's like, well, I'll see if I can make room for it. It's like, oh shit, that fell out. Here, let's try putting it in again. It's springy in here. It's shallow. It's like it's like when you're throwing something across the room into a trash can and the trash can's full already, so it just sort of bounces off. Anyways. You'll see what I'm talking about, Snarly Charlie. Once you turn in your 30s, you don't know yet because you're only a tender 29 years old with your sharp whippersnapper young man's mind. You thought you had fasciitis until your doctor decided you have gout instead. That does not sound like a better alternative, Maxie. But what is that? I don't even really strictly know what those conditions are in terms of how they present. Like, plantar fasciitis, I saw over and over again because people had feet problems, and they weren't always part of the workers' compensation claims, but if they had other problems, oftentimes they also had foot problems. Oh yeah, you're gonna love it, Snarly Charlie. It's like arthritis. Okay.
Great to meet you.
It's just like an inflammation of the feet.
Watch your back.
Because one thing I noticed, and it doesn't happen all the time, it actually hasn't happened in like a month or two, but I went through a phase where it felt like at certain times a day when I would get up from my desk to walk around, it felt like my feet were kind of swollen. And I'm not sure. It could have been I was eating my diet. Maybe I was eating more salt. But of course, anytime I notice any kind of
How are
new,
you? Keep your feet
like,
on the
physical thing. What the hell is this? No, I don't want to sign a damn charter. Get the fuck out of here. Someone I don't know is going to invite me to their
What
guild.
can I do for you?
And confuse me, make me think it's part of a quest. That was very clever to make me think it was part of a quest. An inflammation of your foot bones. Okay.
See you soon.
So yeah, I thought my foot swelling was a symptom of some advanced and horrible new old person disease.
What's on your mind?
Oh yeah, I gotta reset the old Hearthstone, that's for sure. I've gotta choose my reward. I'll take the tough jerky, please.
Safe
I'll
travels.
take tough jerky for 1,000, Alex. Hey, flimsy chain boots, not looking so bad right about now. Okay, let's get that innkeeper set.
What's on your mind? Safe
Make it.
travels.
Let's make it my home. Thank you, sir. And thanks for that reminder, Maxie.
You got my attention.
Oh, that just reminded me. I wonder, I had some, I put some leather on sale, but the economy, because the game just launched, the trade house, the auction house economy is pretty jacked up right now because no one has any money. Which is better than the alternative of there's gold farmers and the economy's been totally broken because people are buying their money. It's a long foot muscle getting screwed up. Okay. Sitting was fine. Putting weight on the foot would light it up. Okay. Yikes.
Watch your back.
Okay, now it just occurred to me. Hey, there's this quest. Since I'm here, I'm gonna jump on my other character real quick, and I'm not optimistic that his leather sold. Well, beards are slightly different, faces are slightly different. Here's Gamrick. And he did get mail from the auction house. There's only a 24-hour auction, so my guess is most likely it's just my leather being returned to me. Yep, my 11 leather that I tried to sell. And I'm pretty sure I tried to sell it for something stupid like 1 silver or 1.5 silver. But the auction house is flooded with individual leathers. 1 leather at a time. And I ain't got time for that bullshit. To take 1 leather at a time and put it on there. I feel like that's irritating for both the people who are trying to sell it and irritating for the people who are trying to buy it. I don't think they're doing anybody any favors, except for themselves and their little trolley. Maybe there's a way to navigate around it. It just seems like a real bullshit move. It's an exploitative bullshit move, and they need to try to eat a bag of dicks. Put their dick in a bag, give it to someone else, and let someone else eat it, and not give it back. Santa Claus! Two bags living large. So, well, you know what? I just realized this is probably a good time for me to stop because it is. I know it's only like 9:20 where I am, 9:18, but I get up at 5:30 in the morning these days. So. And I streamed for like 2 hours now, and I think I'm gonna wrap up. This is a good spot to wrap up before I run out in the wilderness with Mr. Santa Claus. Lawyer money. Let's see. Here, we'll just do this. At least for the moment, my intention is this is my stream for the week. I just directed it to be today rather than tomorrow because today is very special, Nick. Surely you understand. It was a teaser. It's just a teaser. Hey, but I did get in there. I got some gameplay. I sang Happy Birthday. We watched Torn. We got to talk about various things. Brad's looking for that bonus American Truck Simulator. They do have the Washington expansion available now, which I don't know. I was next time I play that, I think I'm gonna get the Washington expansion. Even though I haven't done much driving in Washington except for right across the river from Portland. So it's not like getting the Oregon expansion was more significant because I've driven around Oregon a lot. Balzio! I almost thought about making a Balzio for Classic WoW. I was like, if I make like a warlock or some shady looking human character, I think Balzio would make a good warlock. I was so dejected from being fired from the cheese shop, I turned toward the dark arts. Balzio become a warlock. It depends how horny cold. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I think there is one RP server on Classic, one day dedicated RP server. I'll have to roll up a Balzio and check it out, see what's going on. Hey, I'm here. I'm Balzio. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing to my penis? Get off it. Balzio. Good old Balzio. There's some good times right there. Alright, so I'm not gonna promise any additional streams. So one reason is because with my wife's schedule being all wonky donkey, during the week when she's home and she doesn't have to work, which she frequently does, I like to make myself available to do things with her. And even when she does have to work, we've gotten in the habit of, there's a pool in our complex, and because both of us have feet problems, like I don't know if I talked about that, but that's one of the issues. I sort of hurt my heel or something in my ankle or heel about 3 months ago, and it hasn't healed all the way. And I think part of it's just because I've been walking as my main exercise, so I may have not really ever given it a chance to heal. So we've started, even when she comes home and she brings work home, and she'll work until 11, but she's been trying to put time aside to spend like an hour with me, and then we like go eat and go to the pool together and have a little bit of time to hang out. So when she is able to set that time aside, I try, obviously to make sure I'm not doing other things, except she does understand that at least once a week I do try to, like tonight, I basically warned her in advance, hey, I'm going to be streaming on Wednesday this week because Nixie's birthday. So there's going to be, when you come home from work, if you're home after me, I will probably be setting up my stream, and I will not be going to the pool or hanging out. She's like, okay, I understand. And she's cool if I do it once a week, but if like she's available and I'm not available because I'm streaming and it keeps happening because our time together is, because of work, is so limited. Anyways, you probably got much more of an explanation than you wanted when you asked if this was just a bonus stream, if there are going to be more streams. And I wanted to sort of explain circumstantially why it's not easy for me to just whip out bonus streams like I was before. One of our little dynamics that has changed since we've moved and both started working. Night elves are back on the top of the waifu charts. Yeah, is that, are they? I guess the ladies are. I feel like the male night elves are goofy looking. They're like the trolls of the Alliance. But the lady elves, they're night elves. They look pretty nice in terms of, lady cartoon RPG characters go. Yeah, it is a little... Well, here's the thing, Maxie. It's not like she's laid down the law and said, this is how it must be, or you'll be in trouble. It is essentially... It's my own ground rules that I create in an attempt to maintain balance. And then also, my job wears me out, honestly. So there's certain times when, like, I have 3 levels of energy after, depending on the kind of day I've had. The highest level would be playing video games and streaming, which for me, actually, believe it or not, I'm somewhat of an introvert by nature. And I enjoy streaming and I have a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, but it sort of energizes me while I do it, but I have to have some energy to begin with, and it wears me out after I'm done. The next level is just I've found lots of times when by the time I'm like able to play a game, I'm just too tired to do it, like streaming or not. Like, it'll be 8 o'clock and I'll have had dinner, hung out with my wife and whatever, and I'm just like, okay, I can play a game for an hour or 2 if I want to, but instead I'm just like, I'm just gonna lay down and put on Netflix and probably be asleep by 8:30. That's what happens a lot of nights. So sometimes I'm just too tired. I don't want to do anything interactive. Any game you think of, there's a couple of things gonna happen. One, stuff might be trying to kill you. 2, if you're not playing a game where stuff's trying to kill you, then you got to solve puzzles and you got to think about how to solve those puzzles. And when I'm in the wrong mood, I'm tired, neither one of those things sound particularly good to me. And then if a game there's not enough going on, then that just sounds boring. I get very fussy. It becomes very difficult for me. It's third world problems. We were mainly asking so if that means I hang out at the store after gaming tomorrow or come back. Okay, yeah, Nick, I would, you got a 5-minute answer, but the skinny is, yeah, I would not plan for me to have a stream tomorrow. Doesn't mean there's 100% won't do it, but I'm not planning a stream for tomorrow. So that's where we are with that. Lady Night Elves with an unarmored, what is that? Dances? It's probably someone who was cool back in 2004 that was still too new for me to acknowledge. It drew all the Goldshire crowds. Is that like the lady with all the milk, with the milkshake that makes all the boys in the yard do something? That's a contemporary reference. Chris the Goat says, let's do a raid. That's like now I'm not saying I'm not gonna do a raid, but that's interesting. Chris the Goat, where'd you come from? What are you doing? Where'd you come from? Who are you? Chris the Goat. This is my immediate thing. My immediate image is when you go to a petting zoo, and there's a goat that just starts eating the hell out of your shirt and it won't let go, and you're like, goat, get off my shirt, and the goat's like obsessed. It just won't stop. bro, let's do a raid. All right, well, let's see who's on. I'd hate to disappoint you, Chris the Goat. Although, many people that demand that I do a raid also try to tell me who to raid. And once that request comes through, you may find yourself disappointed. Oh, what a surprise! Look at his Coach Duke. It seems that I've got a raid recipient suggestion from this person I've never heard of before. Or maybe I did and he changed his name. Do I know you, Chris the Goat? Or are you just going random streams telling streamers to raid other streamer? Or he's like, yeah, my new friend just started streaming, and I'm the go get him guy that goes out and tries to get other people to go to his stream. Re reality is predictable. Well, yeah, it could be the new Jared Shelton, but let me tell you, Jared Shelton, there's a man that got shit done. Jared Shelton, because, yeah, he might have been a little aggressive with those raids, but if you noticed, those circles that he hung out with, the ones that raided were just in a constant state of raiding all day long and all night long, they all ended up with like 4, 5, 6, 7, 10,000 subscribers. They got tons of subscribers. They'd only ever have 4 people watching them at a given time, but they had a gajillion subscribers. I do know you. Were you Chris the Goat is my question. There's the name new. Like, oh, my name before was Pop Weasel. You don't remember me? Well, I don't know by Chris the Goat. All right, let me see. I'm gonna look on your channel now. Chris the Goat, no content, 8 subscribers, no information about when the channel was started, nothing. All right, Chris the Goat, you'll forgive me. You'll forgive me if I don't remember you. But hey, look at this. You came in here, I didn't know who you were, and I've spent 5 minutes talking to and about you. So, and not in an entirely mean-spirited way. It's more of a playful way. I'm playing, I kid. Let's see who's on, though. Because it just so happens I was on my thank you screen when you entered my stream, and I was considering raiding, perhaps. Do 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 do. Let's see who amongst my many friends, my many old friends, is streaming. Yeah, it's like good cop, bad cop in here. Maxie's the bad cop. I'm the good cop, but sometimes I get a little edgy too. Now it's Alex caught fire lows. Did he get another account ban? What the hell's up with him? What the hell's up with him? He's back to his Legend of Zeldas though. But we will not raid. We will not raid Alex caught fires. Because I see another friend of mine with less people watching, who I like, and that is my friend, and Nick is the space cop, to infinity and beyond. That's Nick's cry. Let's see. Let's take a look at our friend Nintagious. That's a nice go-to, I think. Nintagious has got 5 people watching. He has 16 likes, and he's been streaming for 4 hours. I think we need to improve his like count, guys. So I'm going to capture this little link for y'all, and once again, Nick, see, happy birthday. I know it's not your birthday anymore. By the way, Nick, you check that email yet? You check that email again? Any surprises? If this thing really takes 72 goddamn hours to get to you, it's already past your birthday. I was hoping it was something they warned you might take 72 hours, but in reality only took 10 minutes. And there it is, the Lawhawk raid. Yeah, I spliced together the new World of Warcraft, the classic announcement trailer, with the original trailer, because they use a clip from the original trailer at the end, and so I thought that would be cool for a background video to, instead of it just have like a 10-second clip of that original trailer, to just have the classic trailer feed directly into the full original trailer as a, it's like a background thing. So, all right, I'm still talking. I was going to do the raid. Brad and Nick both gave us the Lawhawk raid. I have the thing. So, Nick, happy birthday. Didn't get that email. Okay, keep an eye out for it. And, yeah. Thanks, guys. It was lovely hanging out. If maybe it's possible with the long weekend, I might be able to fit another stream in. But it's all going to depend on what's happening here and what my lady's doing and what we're doing and so on and so forth. So, link is incoming. Thanks for being here, guys. We will see you soon. Love y'all and talk to you later. There you go. Go get a Mr. Nintagious.